Hey there, Tilray traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the pursuit of wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Monday, December 23rd, Christmas Eve. Hope you're doing well and hope you had a great weekend. In this video, we're going to be discussing Tilray brands and why did the stock jump today. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on this. Also curious to hear everybody else's thoughts. You can drop it in the comment section and we'll continue the conversation there. We'll also take a look at the price chart, what to expect in terms of that in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Before we jump to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And like I said, this is not financial advice. Never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Also just finished an interview with Martin Lucas, investor. That was the first time ever he was interviewed. So I feel honored to be the first to interview him, and it was fantastic. It was a bit lengthy. I was just about 3 hours, just under 3 hours. And we also had Sensei Crypto join as well. And we discussed crypto, we discussed MJ stocks, so Tilray, XRP, everybody's favorite in terms of those sectors. We discussed that ad nauseum, and we also discussed a lot more than that. So you can check out that interview. Shout out to Martin, shout out to Sensei. I had a really good time. Can't believe how fast 3 hours flew by. So initially thought it was only going to be about an hour, maybe two, and time flies when you're having fun, I guess. So during that live stream and interview, we actually discussed Tilray briefly, and I asked Martin what he thought the recent move, why we were up so much, what he thought, if it was a technical thing or if it was a fundamental thing. And he believed that it wasn't so much technical, which I kind of disagree. I think it was definitely technical. And the reason why I said that is because he brought this up in his show today. But the thing is, it came out on the 21st, right? So today's the 23rd. So it came out on the weekend. But what they're referring to here is if you scroll down, they talk about how, according to Simon, legalization is just around the corner. Now, I take everything with a grain of salt from Motley Fool. There's different, there's different people who write the article. So there's different editors, or there's different analysts. So some have different views and opposing views, but most of the time I would say take a grain of salt. So I'm not a big fan of Motley Fool, I'll be completely honest. But some things they say are worth listening to, or at least considering. But what they're talking about here is, he said in an interview, is what they're talking about is this Fox Business one. And I already posted this. This was posted 6 days ago, so about a week ago. And he says MJ will be legalized. He thinks MJ will be legalized under a Trump admin. And also, Tilray is unaffected by U.S. tariffs. So those are two major reasons why. But, I don't think it was just because of this article and what he said in the interview, because the interview is quite old, right? And we kept dropping after the interview. And then another video that I posted not too long ago, this was, let me get the exact date, this was 5 days ago. It says Canada announcing MJ excise tax reform plans for 2025. So the major thing that they're working on is getting rid of 13 different stamps for provinces and territories and going to just one national stamp, right? That will help save on the industry burdens with regards to extra costs, and then also just the administrative burden having to deal with multiple stamps. So a big pain point. And then in there, I think there was 54 suggestions to make the industry better, and one of which was making excise tax lowered. So to have that lowered. And Tilray said in this interview, they paid $135 million to the Canadian government just under excise tax. So that's not including payroll tax, right? The property taxes, this is just in the excise tax, which they're paying 4 times more than spirits, so like rum or that type of thing, than alcohol, right? So that's huge. The fact that they're not being affected by U.S. tariffs with their beer business because it's made in the U.S., right? I think that's a great move. And then also with the prospect of excise tax reform in 2025, I've been saying for a while now, it's probably going to be happening around the same time we get rescheduling. They're saying that rescheduling could happen in about 30 to 90 days into 2025. And the budget comes out for the Canadian budget in February, which could potentially see some improvements to excise taxes. And wouldn't you know, coincidence? I think not. I think it's, there's no coincidence when it comes to the finance world. And it's looking like this was always going to be the case, and it's looking like it's more and more true by the day. So we'll continue to monitor that. Also, tax loss selling is shortly coming to an end. I would think most people who were going to tax loss sell probably already did, because why are you going to wait until Thursday or Friday this week? The last day would be the 27th of December, so Friday this week. Why would you want to do that? Most people are checking out. They probably did it last week, right? So We're starting to see prices rebound. Also, if you're Canadian, you get an extra $7,000 contribution room into your TFSA. So if you're like me, you have a tax-free savings account, it's exactly that. The money you put in grows tax-free. So you get an allotted lifetime amount. And then once you've hit the lifetime contribution room, then each year you get an extra few $1,000s. And it was about 6,500. Now for the last couple of years, it's been 7,000. So come January 1st, 2025, I'm going to be looking to add more beaten down MJ to my tax-free savings account. And that will grow tax-free long-term. And I'll be holding that in my long-term portfolio. So if we take a look at Tilray here, the reason why I think it's mostly technical is because that news came out. Like I said, their interview that they're referring to is this Fox Business interview with Liz Clayman, which I've already posted. That was almost a week ago now. But I think it's a multitude of things, right? It's not just one reason. I know the market always loves to have a specific reason, but let this be a lesson, right? It's a multitude of factors. It had to do with the fact that they're not affected by U.S. tariffs, had to do with him thinking that we're going to see positive change. I don't think he didn't say which kind of legalization either. He just said some form of legalization. That could be medical, right? And if you remember the Big Mike interview with Brian Lanza, they think that, he thinks that it's probably not going to be feasible to get it done in 4 years, full blown legalization at the recreational level at the federal level. So I think, rescheduling and safer banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, a safe harbor, probably doable in the next 4 years, and even legalization of medical. He didn't say recreational. He just said some form of legalization, right? Some form of something. He thinks it will be legalized. So whether it's medical, that remains to be seen. I think it's pretty much a low-hanging fruit. I think it's easy to do that, to get medical legalized. And we already know that Trump has said multiple times that he supports medical. And the doctors said it's been nothing but great things, right? So all of these things, and then Canada excise tax reform in 2025, we could see rescheduling, safer banking. All of these things are going to be massive catalysts that will benefit the sector, even though Tilray won't benefit from rescheduling the U.S., right? Like from the tax implications of the 280E removal, it will help the business, and overall sector will see some momentum, right? And that's what happens, right? The sector moves together, not down to the day, the second, the minute, but when in doubt, zoom out, look at the monthly, look at the yearly. They all track each other very closely. And case in point, look at MSOs in 2021 hitting all-time highs. So they held up a little bit better while Canadian LPs started to see massive downside, but then given enough time, when in doubt, zoom out, everything started to fall. And then now everything's pretty much at 52-week lows and all-time lows, and that's because the sector tracks each other. So the reason why I think this is mostly technical is because the daily bear flag target. If you've been following this channel for a while now, again, I'm Mr. Tilray Bull. It's my biggest holding in my MJ portfolio. I'll be completely transparent. But I own more crypto. My largest crypto holding's worth more dollar-wise than my whole entire MJ portfolio, right? And that's because one's been in a 5-year bull market and one's been in a 5-year bear market. So I call a spade a spade. And like I said, I wish I could come on here and say this was a bull flag and we were going higher, but that would just be a lie. If I come on here, I want to relay what the charts are saying with an unbiased perspective. So if you take your measured move there from the high to the low, move it out to your 0.382 fib. It's been saying for many, many weeks now that 114 was the target, and I've made multiple videos saying this. Look what the exact target was yesterday. 114, right on the money, to the penny. And then from that major support level, we jumped almost 28%. And look where we topped out. The high of the day today is 145. That was our previous major level of resistance before we really confirmed the bear flag, right? So that was a lower high, and that's exactly where we're topping out. So this rally might be due for a little bit of a sideways action, if not a quick daily high or low. We still have yet to confirm a daily uptrend. So I think that, this bounce is mostly just technical, but, combine that with the excise tax, UF tariffs, what else was it? The comments about legalization. Yeah, I mean, we're going into the most pro-business administration ever, right? And this is the first time ever we had a presidential ticket where both were in favor of some sort of major MJ reform in the U.S., right? There's going to be massive reform in the next few years, in my opinion, as part of the biggest pro-business administration ever, right? So again, that pullback from the high here of November 4th to the low there of yesterday, we were down almost 40%, right? So even if we take a look at the high from November 4th to where we hit today, still down 20%, right? So again, it's mostly technical in my opinion. We pulled back so much, we were beaten down. Nothing goes in a straight line down or up forever. And it was just a technical bounce, and we topped out right at 145 resistance. And if we take a look at the weekly time frame here, we are stalling out right at the 10-week moving average. We did have a bull cross of the stochastic MACD, yet to see a weekly bull cross, but it's close. So again, get tax loss selling out of the way here, which I think is pretty much all wrapped up. I would say like 95% 5% done. And then leading into the new year with that extra TFSA contribution room and risk on in the market, I think we're going to see one more massive rally in the broader market as well, which will be tailwinds. And yeah, we're just getting back to our moving averages. If you take a look at the daily 50-day moving average, it's at 144. So again, what do we know about these moving averages? Usually when we get extended to the downside or the upside, we gravitate back towards them, either whether it be a resistance test or a support test. And we got pretty far away from our 50-day moving average. And today we were just, like I said, just a technical bounce at a key technical level of 114 after almost a 40% pullback in a couple of months. You need to expect a pretty big relief rally. And it's just exactly that at the moment, just a relief rally. There's no major signs of a reversal yet. And in fact, it is still a descending triangle as well. If we zoom out here, you can see that it's a descending triangle here on the monthly time frame, and it's saying that we could potentially see a low down around 89, 88 cents. And that would be obviously if we lost $1, psychological, and then we would be in the reverse split territory. Is it possible that it could reverse split? Absolutely. Is it the end of the world? I don't think so. I don't think that's the most likely scenario that they'll reverse split, but anything's possible. But we have to be on deck for what could potentially happen, and that's a possibility. So key support's going to be 114, $1, and then like I said, somewhere around that 89-cent area would be a nice area to target. So if you're looking for some entries, not a bad entry, but if you're looking for a quick day trade or something like that, today was a great entry, or I guess yesterday, off of that low of 114 and playing that bottom, that temporary bottom, right? Once we had that target of 114, you could have entered there, set your stop even under $1. You could risk just over 10% to make 30%, right? So that's some decent risk to reward. And overall, we still got a lot of work to do here on the weekly time frame. Like I said, still waiting to see that MACD cross bullish on the weekly, and we still have a ways away before we see any weekly moving average bull crosses and daily moving average bull crosses. So we could be gearing up for a golden cross with the 50-day and the 200-day crossing. I would say it's at least a month or two before that happens. And again, I've been saying for a while now that I think big tech, crypto, AI, once that tops out, we'll see the rotational play. And I think that MJ will benefit greatly from that rotation and could become one of the best performing sectors over the next few years. Not to say that the industry is without its challenges. There's definitely challenges, but there's so much growth ahead and lots of opportunity in both directions. But unfortunately, it's been a brutal 4 years. It's not easy to see everything at all-time highs and MJ continuing to struggle. But I've never been more confident in this space long-term. I'm diversified within the sector and outside of the sector. So again, just make sure that you're not, investing any more than you're willing to lose. You're diversified, you have a plan, and execute the plan. And as long as you're a believer like me in this industry long-term, my thesis has not changed. And I do believe that Tilray has the potential to become the best performing company in the sector. I think it could easily be top 5 for sure, top 3, very doable, maybe even the biggest company in the space. Also tried out the new Reddy's Blunties. So if you haven't seen those products from Redican, they're the new Reddy's Blunties. They're blunts, and man, are they ever amazing. You got to check those out. They're I got the animal runts and the purple churro, 10 out of 10 product. All right, happy holidays. Hope you have a fantastic holiday season and time off. Make sure you're getting lots of rest, checking in with yourself, spending time with family and friends, and we'll reconvene at some point soon. Not sure when I'll be getting out additional videos, but I'll do my best. I'll definitely be getting some out during the holidays. All right, take care. Have a great day. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.